As far as the later polychrome wares are concerned, well, of course, Imari is a well-known concept, albeit it was only a port, it never was a style, really. And of course, this was exported and began to be copied all over Europe, and was therefore very popular and very successful, and of course is still made today. And other colours were used in these compositions to make them something that wasn't really Imari, but you do get, later on in the 18th century, some very completely coloured polychrome plates. And you also get figures of one sort or another, which I'm not very expert on, but they're very sought after things. So the prospectus is being widened in terms of what the Japanese could make and in terms of what they actually wanted to export. They were trying harder to export by then, but they're still bringing in their little geometric designs into the centre of this plate. And they're using colours on shapes which are from Chinese porcelain, and exporting them in polychrome. This little dish in my collection is only about 5.5 inches across. It's very pretty. I think it's 18th century. I'm not absolutely sure, to be perfectly honest, but it's just very pretty. So perhaps the best known polychrome of this period is Kakiemon. And the Kakiemon family started their business in the 1640-ish. And they started it purely as a decorating establishment, and it seems likely they probably didn't start building kilns till about 1670, 1680. But of course, Kakiemon output was widely exported by the Dutch East India Company to start with, and it began to influence, you will probably know that almost every European factory of any note made Kakiemon-inspired wares. So of the Japanese polychrome of this era, it is of course the best known of any of them, and there are some fairly wonderful examples, and some people will be able to think of Worcester or other copies of these things which were quite accurate and quite true to the original, and there are copies in France and in Meissen and elsewhere which actually are quite true to the originals. So these wonderful and well-painted wares really spawned a fashion which spread throughout Europe completely. And there were, I would say, by far the most successful stylistic influence on Europe